At Carlton Football Club,
we choose CUA health insurance to look after us.
Take out a new policy and you'll get
up to $500 e-gift card,
4% CUA member discount,
choice of healthcare provider,
and no reserving wait periods. Get an email quote today for your chance to win $10,000.
Well, how are you feeling about this week, Nick, up against the old team?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Obviously spent 4 years there and got some great mates still up there that I still speak to. So, yeah, I'm just really looking forward to it. I think both teams are going to be desperate for a win and should be a pretty hot contest. So, yeah, I'm just excited and looking forward to it.
Much communication with any of those guys this week?
Nah, not this week, mate. I don't expect any either. So, yeah, I sort of speak to a few of the boys once or twice a week. But, yeah, I think I'll probably leave it this week.
How do you feel about the Swans now? I mean, I guess you had they gave you your opportunity, but you probably starved of that opportunity a little more last year. How are you feeling about meeting the club and how the trade happened, or how the move happened rather, and all that sort of thing?
Yeah, I'm fine with the club. I think it all ended pretty well and amicably, and sort of mutually agreed to part ways. And yeah, I love my time there, and yeah, I'm grateful for the opportunity they gave me. And I was picked up as a rookie, so for them to take a chance on me, I'll always appreciate and be thankful for. And I learnt so much in my 4 years there. There were so many great examples of guys that had done it tough and great leaders there. So yeah, I'll be forever grateful for the opportunity they gave me, and just the things I learned in my 4 years will hold me in good stead for not only my time here but life after footy. So yeah, obviously no hard feelings there at all, and yeah, just looking forward to playing them and still hopefully knock them off.
Were you always looking to come back to Melbourne?
No, it was never. Once I got drafted there, it was never sort of a goal of mine to get back to Melbourne. I loved living there and loved being at the club. It was just one of those things that sort of eventuated sort of late in the year, and sort of started looking at my options late in the year, and spoke to the club and to my manager, and it was just one of those things that sort of both mutually agreed it was probably in our best interest for me to look elsewhere. And yeah, was happy to come back to Melbourne and be around friends and family, and I've loved my time here, but yeah, I also love my time at Sydney. So yeah.
Are you surprised, given that you played in that final towards the end? I think you played quite a few games towards the end of the season, and you played quite a bit of footy in the year before.
I wasn't overly surprised. Like, it was sort of mutually, so it wasn't just them. It was sort of my call as well. It was in my interest to sort of look for some more opportunities, and sort of spoke to my manager and heard Carlton were interested, and yeah, it sort of went from there. I wasn't overly surprised or annoyed or anything. It was just, it's one of those things. It's part and parcel of the industry we're in, is the potential to move clubs, and I sort of didn't plan for it, but it's one of those things that happened pretty late, and just the way it went.
Does it give you an extra % of motivation or an extra point to prove just merely facing them this week when you got all those guys out there?
Oh, I don't really know. Not at this stage. I don't know if anything will develop by the end of the week. I mean, ultimately, we're on 2, so I sort of think it doesn't really matter who we were playing this week. I was pretty desperate to play well and get a win, no matter who we were playing. Yeah, I'm looking forward to running out there and playing against a few mates, and I'm sure there'll be a few little slight jabs from a few of the boys. But yeah, the motivation level, I think it's pretty high, regardless of who we were playing this week. The fact that we're on 2.
Do you think you can offer any? I guess, I mean, there's so much analysis of the opposition and that sort of stuff. Do you think you can offer a few insights, perhaps, in meetings this week?
Yeah, maybe little things. I think, as I said this morning on radio, like the vision and all the different camera angles, like you can sort of, the analysts are so good at analysing other teams and their strengths and weaknesses, so I sort of don't think I'll get too involved. I think I'll leave that for them, and they're pretty spot on with it. But maybe some little things about specific players that you sort of pick up with when you actually play with them. So maybe a few little things, but nothing major, to be honest.
You talk about being 0-2, and as Sydney are as well, we two teams pretty desperate for a win. You've been reasonably competitive in both games you've played this year. I guess, how do you translate that high level of competition from the start as opposed to maybe last year into some wins earlier on in the season?
Yeah, look, I obviously can't really speak on last year. I wasn't here. I didn't know the environment and what the club was like. But from the first couple of games, we're still really positive. Like, we're not going to shy away from the fact that we're 0-2 and we're disappointed. And ultimately, we want to win games of footy. And yeah, we're disappointed with that, and we're not going to shy away from it. But the positive has been we've played some really good footy. I think we've sort of played a half in both games, and probably in comparison from round 1 to round 2, we started poorly round 1. The pleasing thing was we were able to fight back and not roll over, and then obviously on the weekend we sort of started well and went in ebbs and flows. So we've got some stuff we've got to work on, but we think we're doing a lot right. We just need to tidy up on a few things and do it for longer periods of the game, and we think a win will come from that.
And you yourself personally, I guess now it's out of pre-season, you've obviously spent a lot of time with the boys, but you're 2 games into your career with Carlton now.
Yep.
So how are you feeling about it? How you settle in? How's your start been specifically in games, I suppose?
Yeah, it's been okay. It's obviously not just going to happen straight away. It takes time, and I've played ultimately 2 AFL games with all the guys and all my teammates. So it is going to take a little bit of time to really click in and gel. But yeah, I've loved it so far, and they've been so welcoming and really helpful in terms of learning a new game plan. And I've loved playing with, especially the backs, but all the boys. And we're such a young group, and there's so much excitement around. So I think we play a good brand of footy, and I'm really enjoying that, and I feel comfortable down there.
What's been a big difference moving from Sydney to Carlton? And Sydney's, I suppose, a club that's generally always played finals the last 10-15 years.
Yeah.
Probably hasn't had success for a little while.
Yeah. Look, the biggest difference is probably just the age profile. I mean, coming from Sydney, we had a lot of older guys and really strong leaders, and here we've got so many young guys. We've got some really strong leaders, but you look at our captains, they're 24 and 25 compared to your Josh Kennedys, your Jared McVeigh. So it's just the age profile, and I think those leaders are doing a great job. It's just just helping those young guys to play good, consistent footy, and I think we see that in spurts, and that probably contributes to ebbs and flows. So the challenge is just getting our young guys and all the group, but especially those young guys, if they can just really start playing good, consistent footy, I think that'll be the next step we take.
Do you consider yourself one of the younger guys, well, I suppose in terms of games played, experience?
Yeah, I still feel young, but it was sort of a bit weird coming here and starting pre-season, going out for brekkie, and I was the oldest by 4 or 5 years of some of the boys. So yeah, I mean, I'm sort of in that mid bracket, and I think I can offer a fair bit in terms of I've been in the system for a few years. I've been in a pretty successful club with great leaders and great coaches, so I think I do have a little bit to offer in that space. But yeah, I'm sort of not one of the young boys anymore.
So when Carlton came knocking towards the end of last year, did they say to you that they look to give you more opportunities than you would get in Sydney? Were there any promises made?
No, there's never any promises made in the AFL industry. It's pretty ruthless in that sense, but yeah, they were pretty keen to get me, and they thought I had some value that I could add to the group, and they sort of expressed that to me, and that was of interest. But ultimately, it's on the player to come in and do the work. You can have all the promises you want, but unless you come in and do the work and put the time in, it's not just going to happen. So they thought I had some value to add to the group, but there was definitely no promises made. It was sort of head down, bum up.
You have no Charlie in front of you, no Charlie Curnow in front of you this week. Do you think it'll change the way you structure up a little bit, or do you have to get, I guess, a like for like to cover that?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the coaches are thinking. Yeah, it would be great to have Charlie out there, but he's not going to be there. So whatever we do, whether we bring a tall or a small in, we're going to just have to probably stick to the same way we play. It's not going to change too much. We've still got a couple of big boys down there in Harry and Gov who are playing some good footy. So, they probably have to burden a bit more of the load, but yeah, it's not going to change a whole heap in terms of the way we play. Those boys are doing a pretty good job still.